Mic check, 1, 2, mic check.
Hello, good afternoon, and welcome. I'm very pleased to be joined by Carolyn Gilliger, who is an Executive Vice President and Chief Commercial Officer of Engie. Hello, Carolyn.
Hello, very nice to meet you today.
Yeah, it was good to see you. We met last night on the canal boat as we were sailing along to dinner. I hope you had a pleasant evening.
Fantastic evening. It was so great to meet with all those colleagues, yes, I can say partners, and to see them physically and see the energy we are having in this green hydrogen adventure.
And with green hydrogen, can you tell us a little bit about what some of the things that you're doing? I know you've got some exciting projects happening all around the world.
Yes, indeed. And the very good news is that we are moving from PowerPoints to power plants. And sorry for the joke, but it's really that. I mean, we are finalizing the construction of one project in South Africa with Anglo American on the mining segment. The first truck driving on hydrogen should be online in a few weeks from now. We have also had some good project in Australia where we are about to have this final investment decision thanks to the grants we received recently from the arena for both of the projects. We received more than um, 70k euro. No, sorry, in Australian dollars, sorry, but massive amounts that makes those projects really happen. In France, also, we have some project having some grants. So we are really in the execution phase. So that's really nice to see the things happening, implementing.
Excellent. I can feel your passion, and yeah, it's really exciting. And I was talking to a colleague of yours, Julian, I think, about also a project in Chile as well.
Yes, we have some project in Chile as well. And why in Chile, Australia, and South Africa? I mean, it's all sweet spot of renewable hydrogen, thanks to the renewable. And indeed, in Chile, it's on the ammonia part where we are also trying to support the decarbonization of the mining through the explosive and possibly future exporting some projects. Really leveraging on the natural resources of those countries, which is cheap renewable, which makes cheap green hydrogen.
Excellent. Well, many thanks for coming. Many thanks for speaking and sharing your passion and all those exciting projects you're doing. So we look forward to tracking the work that Engie is doing going forward and hearing more at next year's Congress. So many thanks, Caroline.
Thanks a lot for the invitation. It was my pleasure. See you. Bye bye.
Bye bye. You can go and have lunch now. I know you're very hungry. Bye bye.
Thanks a lot. Bye bye.
Next, we're going to be joined by Cornelius Mathers. Cornelius is coming to us from the Dubai region. So welcome, Cornelius.
Hello, Nadim, and so glad to be here and see so many wonderful people and such amazing turnout and exciting talks.
So we were speaking to Dan Feldman earlier of Shim and about the Neon project, and there's certainly a huge uptake in and excitement, I guess, around hydrogen in the MENA region. Can you give us a little overview of what's happening out there?
Absolutely. So in a year, the world has completely changed. NEOM was just announced a little bit more than a year ago. And this magnitude, I think, if you ask people before, nobody would have believed that this is ever possible, maybe not even this decade. And this is happening now. So it's on the way to financial close. There will be first 20, if not more, megawatts operational by next year, localized, even supported by the German government. So really, there's a big paradigm change in the MENA region. I see it in the UAE as well, where I'm based, and you see different projects announced with Khalifa Industrial Zone, Abu Dhabi Ports, Mazda for e-kerosene. You see Oman pushing big time, mainly on green hydrogen, actually, and the same in North Africa, of course, at different speeds. But I think the main thing is that in only a year, there has been a huge change, and no country is basically not dealing with the topic of hydrogen. So everybody is aware, and everybody sees opportunities on, creating really huge capacities, potential export opportunities, local offtake, maybe hydrogen valley. So we published a study just in June together with our partner Roland Berger on potentially creating 1 million jobs only in 3 GCC countries, and on creating $200 billion annual revenues for hydrogen sales in the 3 GCC countries in an optimistic scenario. And this is potentially, rivaling oil and gas revenue. So this is really a big thing, and it's coming. And I'm sure in a year from now, we will have made equal progress, which maybe 2 years ago never nobody would have thought this is possible in this decade.
Excellent. What is driving that? Is there a realization that we're in the beginning of the fossil fuel end game?
Well, green hydrogen is a huge opportunity for MENA due to the lowest cost of solar and wind globally. So we have 1 cent solar, 2 cent wind, maybe 2 cent solar and 3 cent wind as less bankable locations, but that's all across MENA. So 1 to 3 cent solar and wind, this is like a revolution because you can today produce green ammonia at maybe $400 to $500 per ton, whereas gray ammonia is significantly higher. It's like $650. So, and this is today for projects which could be operational in 3 to 4 years from now. So this is a revolution, and then of course it's a complementary tool to the energy transition. So it could be for seasonal storage. It could, boost possibilities for exports. Because with HVDC lines, you have technical limit, maybe 3 gigawatts for a line. With a pipeline, you could, with one pipeline, 60, 70 gigawatts export to Europe. So the magnitude, I think that's a different thing. There is single projects announced bigger than the entire power system of a country. And these could be completely off-grid. You're not dealing with grid issue with things, so you can just plan a giga project somewhere for green hydrogen, green ammonia, and all of this, offers completely new possibilities. And I think there has been a clear realization in most of the countries that this is really a huge opportunity, and I'm sure we will not only see more announcements, but tangible project development and projects over the next few years.
Excellent. And how have you found the Congress over the last couple of days?
Well, I'm so glad I came. I wasn't expecting such a big group, but 950 people, that's really remarkable. I remember a few conferences where people were standing in the room. And so I think that's an amazing success for your team. So congratulations. And we're looking forward to planning an amazing similar kind of show in March in Dubai. So I was here for 1.5 days now, and it was great, really, the level of people, and to have so many talks and good panels. So
and you also get the opportunity to catch up with family, because I bumped into your brother. So your brother's here leading, I believe, one of the largest green hydrogen projects in Germany. That must be fun to be able to catch up with your brother at a trade show.
Yeah, that's a special occasion. It's actually the first time it happens. I convinced him to come here. It was his first business trip since the pandemic. So a very special occasion for him and for both of us. And indeed, he's in the hydrogen sector and overseeing as a managing director Germany's largest project under construction. It's only 8.5 megawatts, but it's a great learning case and showcase, and probably 100 or 1,000 megawatts will not have much bigger challenges. It's the same process and the same learnings you go through.
Yeah. Well, excellent. Thank you very much. And feel free to invite any other members of your family to my events. Your grandparents, cousins, uncles.
Thank you so much, Nadim. Really appreciate it. And again, congratulations to this wonderful success.
Yeah. Many thanks. And let's work together on making Dubai an equal success. Super. All right. Yeah. Cheers, Cornelius. Take care. Bye-bye. Next, I think we're going to be joined by Dr. John Massey. Dr. John Massey is very famous on the World Hydrogen Leaders platform. He is the man that's delivered the most hydrogen training in the world, I like to say, and is the oracle of all things hydrogen. Hi there, John.
Hiya. Welcome, everybody.
You're still standing. You did, I think, a full stretch of sort of 6 hours of master classes on Monday.
On Monday, yeah.
And were they well attended?
Yeah, it was packed. It was good. Yeah, lots of interest. Lots of people obviously still searching information. Still quite early days for lots of people, I think, in hydrogen. So yeah, it was good.
And was it any different after spending 2 years talking to a Zoom screen to actually be talking to real human beings?
Yeah, it's nice to talk to real people for once. You get more of a sense of kind of what they're interested in and what they're thinking about stuff. So yeah, it's nice.
Yeah. And have you managed to catch up with some of the people that you have trained? I think you've trained nearly 1,500 people over the last sort of 18 months or nearly 2 years.
Yeah, I've seen some faces. I've seen names on a screen. It's always nice to put faces to it. Yeah, so it's been good.
And what struck you in terms of actual content and learning from actually catching up with the industry and actually seeing, you know, and hearing from a lot of the players that are now sort of beginning to put steel in the ground, or at least get projects close to FID?
Yeah, I mean, I think the key theme that keeps coming out again and again is kind of scale up. As you say, it's about actually getting projects built. There's some challenges to that. I spoke to one small guy who wanted to just kind of buy a 1 megawatt electrolyzer and found it was going to take him 9 months to get it delivered and so on. So there's certainly some issues around practicalities of scale up, things like manufacturing capacity. There's still just looking at all the questions in the different sessions as well. Lots of questions still about blue versus green and versus other things, pyrolysis, turquoise, and so on. So there's still a sense that kind of some people fall into camps on that. Some people are much more kind of, it'll have to be everything if you want to do it quickly, which I guess is where I would come in. But yeah, that's still a big bit of the debate. There are some topics which I think we probably need to hear a bit more about. Things like storage of hydrogen, for example. I've spoken to, again, a few people kind of offline. It's one of those topics that's not necessarily kind of the trendiest headline or the most thrilling topic, but there are things like that where there's kind of materials issues that if you can solve them, if you can make it cheaper, if you can make it scale up, then that's going to be really helpful. So yeah, the scalability, it kind of, everyone focuses on production, but there's a whole bunch of other things in the supply chain. And then, of course, there's all the demand side as well. How do you scale up demand? How do you get people wanting to buy this stuff in the first place?
Excellent. Well, many thanks, John. We look forward to listening to you on your next series of different training courses and keeping the industry upskilled and in everything they're doing. So many thanks. Stay safe.
Yeah, look forward to it. Thanks. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. Next, I think we'll be joined by the Director of Strategy from Cadent Gas, Dr. Angela Needle.
Hi there.
Hi there.
Hi.
How you doing? Many thanks for joining us. I know you had to make the trek from the UK, which is an arduous post-Brexit journey.
Well, mostly because of COVID, but I managed to fill the forms in, so I'm okay.
And have you found the Congress today, and have you been able to have some good conversations and some learnings?
Really good. I mean, what I'm really impressed about is the sort of step change from talking about it and things being on paper to actual projects happening. So my colleagues in Europe who've got gas distribution networks are also similarly showing that it can be done. So it's quite a big difference from some of the discussions that we've had previously. So it's been excellent. And of course, it's lovely to see people in person. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there were a number of people for our research. They really wanted you to be here and stuff to learn from what you've been doing, because you've been somewhat pioneering in the gas grid work that you've been doing. So were you able to share some of your best practice and get some good questions from the audience?
Yeah, I mean, we started in the UK. We're very much focusing on demonstrating that the gas network can be safely converted to hydrogen. We're focusing on blending hydrogen in the first instance, and then 100% conversion. And so I've got another session this afternoon where no doubt I'll be asked a few more nitty-gritty questions, but it's great to be able to share learning. But what I can see here is that a lot of the gas networks here are starting to do their own research. So it doesn't feel like we're alone anymore. That there's a community of people answering similar questions, which is really helpful.
And on the usage case and also the production case, what have you been learning on that? Obviously, you're involved in the midstream, so clearly there's no point having a midstream hydrogen if there's none being produced and none being consumed. So are you been reassured that there's going to be markets and demand generated?
Yeah, well, absolutely. And the good thing about a gas network is you're bringing together to supply and demand centres. And if you can't have a network that enables that to happen, then the market will be slow and disparate. But there's a lot being talked about production incentives, and there's a lot of conversation about blue and green here as well, which I was hoping might have gone away by now because it's all just hydrogen. Yeah, but I think that's important to some. But this is really about getting this economy going, whatever the colour, so long as it's low carbon, of course.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about carbon intensity. So that's what we should focus on. Well, many thanks. Stay safe, and we look forward to hearing more about Cadent. And we wish you all the best in all your investments and projects going forward.
Thanks ever so much. Cheers. Bye.
Bye. Many thanks. I'm very pleased to be next to be joined by Dr. Rene Kuting. Rene is the Chief Financial Officer of Smart Energy. Hello, Rene.
Hi, Nadim. It's great to see you, and great also to see the audience here to follow us.
So, Smart Energy have been a major supporter of our work on World Hydrogen Leaders for a number of years now, and obviously the senior partner here of the Congress. Hopefully, the Congress has gone well for you.
Oh, absolutely. It's great to see the people also now live and physical, and you can collect a lot of business cards all of a sudden, which you normally don't get. So it's really successful. Yeah.
And you spoke in the finance session and were highly engaging, around I guess the bankability of hydrogen. And clearly, Smart Energy has been a pioneering company in being able to approach the market and certainly solve some of the early problems in trying to create bankable green hydrogen. So, what were some of the learnings that you shared with the audience?
There are a lot of learnings. I think. To be honest, starting with green hydrogen, we all know it's not yet competitive. So the prices are too high when you compare it to gray and blue hydrogen. So I was talking what are the major key success factors in order to make bankable, and one of them is of course a regulatory framework, the license, the permits. It takes still too long for hydrogen. Remember that you need to have environmental license permits, you have industrial license permits, which you need to get acceptance as well. So on that side, it takes quite long. On the other hand side, on the positive side, we see that LCOE is coming down, PV, wind. It's great to see that this is becoming, and this already the cheapest energy source. And there is the technology is mature. We also see that the technology on the electrolyzers will come down and it's developing further. So that's also on the positive side. And thirdly, we also see that the government, the EU Fit for 55 and ESG targets of the companies are giving great success in order to push now the agenda of green hydrogen.
And what have you had any specific conversations with different parties here, or things that have surprised you, or things that have maybe created some new ideas for some new opportunities?
It's a good question. I think the gas grid injection we are working on. We have about 17 projects on the green hydrogen side, where it's very early stages, etc. And there's some of them also going into the gas grid injection side. And the example here in Holland, the Netherlands, has given me some hope that we are actually can push much more on that side.
Well, excellent. Many thanks for sharing your thoughts with us today, and many thanks once again for all your support on the platform and with the Congress. We look forward to working together with you. So yeah, many thanks and stay safe.
Thanks a lot, Nadim, and also my greetings back to the people who could not be here. But next time to see each other again. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you very much. So far, that's all we've got right here at the moment. We look forward to having a few more interviews in a few minutes. Many thanks.